Hello, sixth graders, and welcome to the English 6B instructions for the Unit 4 activity. All right, so a quick overview. This is basically a short research project where you will read one article that's given to you and research another article, all having to do with cyberbullying. So this is an issue that, especially now because pretty much everyone is at home working remotely, there's a lot more screen time for everyone, which means that probably cyberbullying, unfortunately, has become a bigger problem than it ever has been. So, quick overview here. The first part is you will read the article that's linked to this activity and take notes on the article. I'm looking for basically what's most important, what stands out about cyberbullying in that article. Then secondly, you'll find your own article that also is related to cyberbullying and see how it compares to the article we gave to you. You'll also write from your own experience, any experience that you've had. And then in part 2, you take all those notes from the articles and from your own background and turn them into 2 paragraphs. So there'll be a paragraph about the article that you are given, and a second paragraph about an article you find, and a little bit about your own experience that you have or you know of about cyberbullying. So let's get into this. So, first part of your activity looks like this. Right there is the link to the article on cyberbullying. So let me show you what that would actually look like if I was to actually be in the activity and click on it. I'm going to click this link, click on that link, and there it is. It's called Cyberbullying, a Technological Nightmare. First sentence is where you're actually going to get the definition. So let me go ahead and read that. It says, bullying that occurs online through technological devices is known as cyberbullying. All right. So that right there is the article and the answer to the very first part of part 1 here. Okay. Then you'll move on to B. This says, list 3 facts from the article that you think are the most important. So this is what you think is the most important. So the things that stand out about this article that stand out to you. Maybe it's things you didn't know. Maybe it's facts or numbers that are a little bit surprising or shocking, or anything that you think is the most important thing that someone else should know about cyberbullying if you were to tell someone that didn't know anything about it. Then part C says copy and paste a quote that you think is most important from this article. So you'll actually copy and paste a sentence or 2 directly from the article and put it in quotation marks. It should be something that relates back to the 3 facts you feel like were the most important. Okay, so make sure that you put those in quotation marks, these little guys right there. All right, for part D, you're going to do some research of your own. So you'll find an article about cyberbullying. So let's just go ahead and give this a try. I'm going to go to Google. So go to Google. I'm going to type in cyberbullying and social media. Because I've already done this, I happen to know there was a good article right here by pewresearch.org. So this is from the Pew Research Center. So it sounds pretty reliable, right? Here's what this says. A majority of teens have experienced some form of cyberbullying. 59% of U.S. teens have been bullied or harassed online. And Similar Share says it's a major problem for people their age. All right, so this would be a good article. It's only a little bit. You don't even need to read the whole thing. But here's what I'm going to do. Since I found it from this website, I cannot claim it as my own research, obviously. I need to give credit where credit is due. So I'm going to go up to my Google search browser window here. I'm going to copy that web address. I'm going to go back to my article. And I'm going to copy and paste it right there, which I've already done. that way I'm giving credit to that article. Okay. Now, once I've given credit to the article and copied it and pasted it, you're going to write 1 to 2 sentences about what the article was mostly about. So something that stood out to you. For example, in that article, those numbers were shocking. About 60% of teens say they have been cyberbullied. That's a big number. It's 6 out of 10 teenagers. So I might say that that's one of my sentences, and then maybe I'd find one other sentence that it was mostly about. And then lastly, you're going to write a sentence about how it is similar to the other article. So maybe they said basically the same thing. That's something that you'll say, that both articles said blah, blah, blah. Okay. The last part of your notes is E. It says, lastly, give an example of cyberbullying you experienced or one you've heard about from someone else in real life. So if you yourself have not experienced cyberbullying, which hopefully you have not, maybe a family member has, a brother or a sister or a cousin. And if no one that you know in real life, a friend or family member, if you don't know of anyone that's had this happen to them, then maybe you've seen an example on TV, or maybe you've read something about someone that's experienced it. Maybe you've seen a Netflix show that was related to cyberbullying. Anything that you've heard about that's a real life example, that's what you can share here. Feel free to be as open and honest as you want. We require at least 2 to 3 sentences, but if you'd rather write more, feel free, okay? So that's all of part 1. Now, you've done the hard part. In part 2, you're just going to take all that information that you found and put it into nicely well-written paragraphs. So paragraph 1 will be your notes from the article that was shared with you. That'll be from parts A, B, and C in part 1. It should have a beginning where you say what the definition of cyberbullying is, and it should end with a quote. Okay. Paragraph 2 is where you talk about the article you found and what it was about. And you'll also share your real life example in paragraph 2. Lastly, you'll take that URL that you found, and that goes here under works cited. You want to give credit to that article for the information that you found. All right, and that's it. Once you've done those steps, you're done. We always, always, always strongly recommend that you share your draft with an English teacher before you submit it, simply because if you do that, then you're pretty much guaranteed a fantastic grade. We'll check and make sure your paragraphs make sense. We'll check and make sure you've shared your works cited correctly. If there's anything missing or anything that needs correcting, we can help you with those revisions, where you can be your proofreaders for you. Then you'll turn in this activity in Play-Doh. You can come to me, Mrs. Bryant, or go to Mrs. Aubriani. Either one of us is happy to help you anytime, no judgment. All right. All right. I hope you do great on this article. We can't wait to read what you find and your personal examples. But be safe and good luck with this. Great job just about finishing 6th grade English.